Coming up on News 2, November 4th is near. We have an update on all the issues of concern as we get closer to General Election Day. Also, WAPA officials say the new metering system might not only cut manpower costs, but also protects WAPA consumers. But why some consumers are skeptical. Plus, Red Ribbon Week activities continues, highlights from another event. Hello, welcome, and thanks for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Gumansing. Topping our newscast, the numerous issues surrounding the upcoming election has one senator calling for a federal investigation. News 2's Erica Parsons has more.
There is still no resolution to the recent challenges presented for elections. The local Supreme Court ordered the election system to remove Senator Alicia Hansen's name from the ballot. But the St. Croix District Board has not yet come together to decide how that process will be handled, despite an attempt from the chair. For Senator Hansen, it's a non-issue.
I believe in the system, and I do believe that the permanent injunction provided by on that order by the district court is valid, and that's what we are standing on.
The ballot issue with the sitting senator caused officials to halt early voting in St. Croix, and in both districts, there's the issue of the machine glitch on the new DS200 machines that allows cross-voting when a party symbol is selected. Senator Narita O'Reilly has gotten complaints from her constituents.
They have expressed concern with respect to the early ballots and the fact that it appears that with every meeting that the Board of Election holds, and some new discovery is made that further questions the integrity of the election.
Senator O'Reilly is appealing to the federal justice system to look into our elections process. In her letter, she stresses the importance of this election as well as the pending litigation against the past primary election.
For us in particular, we're concerned about the early voting ballots and whether or not these ballots are counted as time progresses, and whether they will be tabulated with the DS200 machines.
The problems for the election system may not stop there. Hansen said she's gotten complaints that election staffers asked to see ballots of people voting absentee to advise them they can't vote for Hansen.
A vote is very important. The ballots have to be respected, and the privacy of who they are to vote for is totally confidential and secret, and for them to tamper with the election, they're going to get some serious repercussion.
Erica Parsons, News 2.
And calls to the elections deputy supervisor were not returned by news time. Meanwhile, members of the Board of Elections remain divided on the early voting process, especially after early voting on St. Croix was suspended. There is at least one member who believes early voting should have been canceled altogether.
Right now we have the hatches closed down in St. Croix. No early voting on the way, but on St. Thomas we do have it. And we do have territorial candidates. So what is happening to those individuals who are territorial? No voting in St. Croix, yet in fact in St. Thomas we are having the voting. It is very conflicting. It's just not right. We need to close down the early voting altogether because voters and candidates are being disenfranchised in a bad way.
St. Croix Central High School hosted a gubernatorial, congressional, and senatorial candidate forum today, as well as students at Allah F. Muller Elementary School with a mock election on St. Thomas in the school's cafeteria. Now, the University of the Virgin Islands, they're inviting the general public to the announcement of the results of the first Virgin Islands pre-election poll conducted by the university's Institute for Leadership and Organizational Effectiveness in collaboration with the Eastern Caribbean Center. That presentation is scheduled for 11 a.m. to noon on Thursday, October 30th on both campuses. It will take place in the West Hall's Neil Weiss Room on the St. Thomas campus and in the Evans Center Room 401 on the Albert Sheen campus on St. Croix. Well, as we reported last week, the Virgin Islands Water and Power Authority is upgrading its metering system with its new amplified metering infrastructure. How do the new smart meters work, and why are there concerns on its effects on communities' health? News2's April Knight has that story.
Gone are the days of WAPA personnel coming to your house to check your meter. Last week, WAPA announced it's deploying these new smart meters that can send your power usage information to WAPA wirelessly.
You lose the chance of having errors in reading. Identify theft of service immediately and do remote reconnect and disconnect.
Smart meters send information using radio frequencies, similar to that used by cell phones. One St. Thomas resident who refused to be identified said he is concerned about the health risks these radio frequencies might pose. There are many opinions on the degree of health risks involved in smart meters. The American Academy of Environmental Medicine openly opposed smart meters until further studies are done. The American Cancer Society, however, stated it would be almost impossible to do such research on smart meters because people are virtually surrounded by devices emitting radio frequencies. Another concern is there is no opt-out option on the new meters. If you're a WAPA consumer, you're getting the smart meters to replace the old ones, whether you like it or not. According to WAPA, there is a good reason they're not providing the option to opt out.
Since there'll no longer be a cost for us for meter reading or any of that type of function, you have to create a tariff and they have to pay a charge to keep that meter, to cover the cost of sending someone out there to do the read, the trucks that would be needed for it, that personnel, and whatever that system would cost. That won't be a cost that the other customers should bear.
The deployment of smart meters on St. Thomas will be completed in January. St. Croix and St. John are getting their smart meters starting February of 2015. Reporting for News 2, I'm April Knight.
Now, according to WAPA, they did have public forums on the smart meters and did a pilot project in May with 50 residents before they started full deployment of the smart meters. Senate Committee on Health and Hospitals met at the Irby Otley Legislative Building on Wednesday. They gathered various health officials from different agencies, including the Department of Health, to discuss just how prepared the territory is in the face of potential Ebola cases.
Following the first clinical education, Dr. Ellis, along with Dr. Jerome and Dr. Hunt and I, commenced a series of clinical education and training at the Wong F. Louis Hospital, Fredericksburg Health Center, East End Medical Center, Vitima, and the Department of Health on early detection, safe clinical management, and infection control measures to identify and prevent the spread of Ebola in the event of an Ebola case in the territory.
Meanwhile, Ebola tops our CBS News report as well as NASA. NASA investigators are trying to figure out how a commercial supply rocket headed to the International Space Station exploded in midair. The unmanned rocket crashed and burned moments after liftoff at the Wallops Island Launch Complex in Virginia. It was carrying a cargo ship packed with hardware, supplies, and spacewalk tools for the 6 crew members aboard the ISS. Officials say no one was injured. Meanwhile, President Obama emphasized his support for Ebola medics at a White House event this afternoon. The president says government policies to stop the virus from spreading in the United States should be based on science and good practices, not fear. Keeping our eye on the economy, a major recall from Ford. The car manufacturer is recalling more than 200,000 SUVs to fix gas tanks that can rust, leak, and cause a fire. Ford Edge and Lincoln MKX vehicles from the 2007 to 2008 model years sold in cold weather states and parts of Canada are being recalled. Dealers will inspect the fuel tanks and repair or replace them at no cost to the owners. Ford says it has no reports of crashes or injuries. Here's a look at the New York Stock Exchange with our stock market watch. The Dow, Nasdaq, S&P all down. The Dow 31, Nasdaq 15, S&P 2. Coming up on News 2, Red Ribbon Week events continue. We'll have highlights from an event held today on St. Croix. Plus, a listing of some Halloween events for those who are looking for events to dress up in those costumes. Senator Alicia Chucky Hansen announced that the Committee on Government Services and Housing, which is scheduled to meet at 10 a.m. Thursday in the Fritz Louette's Legislative Room, will finally be considering the long-awaited home ownership bill for residents of the Virgin Islands Housing Authority Homes and Estate Williams Delight. Senator Chucky Hansen said Bill 30-0457 is a measure that will authorize the government of the Virgin Islands through the Virgin Islands Housing Authority to sell the homes at Estate Williams Delight by converting all rent paid into credit towards mortgage payments. Presiding VI Superior Court Judge Michael Dunstan is taking steps to move the territory's court system forward and make sure it's a place where the residents can achieve easy access and uniform fairness and accountability when engaging in the judicial process. That's part of their Access and Fairness pilot initiative, part of which involves getting feedback from the public on their perception of the process. Here's some of what they hope to find out from the public.
Did you feel that the court heard your matter? Did you think that you were listened to? Do you think that you were respected as well by the judge? We're using two survey instruments. One is called Survey Monkey, that's via the computer, and we're also filling it out by hand, and those results will be taken as well.
With this, we have to share now with the judges as well as the committee that the court is looking forward to making sure that we are able to share the idea that we are accessible. You can come to court, you can have your fair day at court and be heard, as well as judges knowing what's perceived from the public and if there's something that could be changed to make sure that we are open.
Retirements and resignations continue to plague the Department of Education, and in an op-ed piece, Education Commissioner Donna Fred Gregory discussed the lack of teachers. Gregory said the problem of teacher shortages is not unique to the territory. Along with the late resignation and retirement notices, she listed recruiting teachers as a major challenge for the department. She said they've had to pull from the substitute pool, but that's not an ideal permanent solution for the VI students. Education now has approval to continue international hires. They are also aggressively recruiting at national universities. Well, meanwhile, this week we reported teachers attended their annual union-hosted conference to pick up continuing education credits as well as specialized training. Union officials expressed concern, however, over a new evaluation system being implemented.
Members are very excited because the district has undertaken several initiatives, and coming to this workshop gives them the opportunity to get some training relative to especially the evaluation system. The Department of Education is just rolling out a new evaluation system called Charlotte Danielson. The union is very concerned about the pace in which it's being rolled out, because this evaluation system hinges on salary increases. It hinges on their overall evaluation, as professionals. So we are very, very concerned about prospective outcomes.
Well, we continue to recognize Red Ribbon Week, and a dance competition was the highlight of this year's Red Ribbon Week event at the University of the Virgin Islands St. Croix campus. The Elena Christian and John H. Woodson Jr. High Schools performed a dance representing their fight against drugs. Arthur A. Richards students, while present, did not perform. The Weed and Seed Youth Pair Meditation Group, Pastor Wilmoth James and Maren Roebuck of the VI Department of Health were among the presentations. The university celebrates Red Ribbon Week each year to bring awareness to the drug problem in the community. The Hope Agency will be recognizing some outstanding leaders during their gala at the Marriott Frenchman's Reef on Saturday, November 8th. The Toast to the Heart honorees are Dion Donadell, James Penn, International Management Corporation, Patricia Thomas of the St. Thomas Majorettes, and the Venomous Poison Band. Toast to the Heart begins at 7 p.m. You can call Hope for ticket information at 777-1611. Hope stands for Helping Others in a Positive Environment. It was started in 2000 as an AIDS service organization, and now it provides prevention and referral services for hypertension, diabetes, HIV, and obesity. Well, for those looking for some Halloween events to get dressed up in costumes, there are several events to look out for. The Fort Christian Brew Pub, they will be holding their annual Halloween costume party on Halloween night. Prizes will be given out for best costume. Then on Friday at 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., a community Halloween trick-or-treating event will be held in the heart of Gallows Bay. Visiting participating businesses throughout Gallows Bay will be involved. That's on November 1st. Now, After Dark Entertainment and Top Shutters Entertainment will be hosting Sockaween. Doors open at 10 p.m. at the J-Spot on St. Thomas. And a Halloween party will be held at DV Carina Bay Casino with live music and a costume contest for cash prizes. That party starts at 7 p.m. Now, on Wednesday, October 29th, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., Thursday, October 30th, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., and Friday, October 31st, you can find a haunted house set up at Tutu Park Mall with some spookiness in place. Then, Friday, October 31st, from 5 p.m., there's a Halloween costume night. Now, you can also join the Humane Society's Dog Halloween party. That's this Thursday from 5 till 8. Festivities are at the campus right across from Costules. You can enjoy the great dog costumes and a fabulous $6 barbecue dinner. Bring your dog. It's all for a good cause. Dress or not, enjoying the fun. Win prizes for the best costume. Now, a free Harvest Feast party for children 3 to 14 years old will be held on Thursday, October 30th at the Long Path Community Center. That's from 3:30 to 5:30 p.m. You can dress as your favorite cartoon or biblical character or career wear. Games, face painting, bouncy house music, pizza, drinks, and everything is all free. It's sponsored by the Straight Path Consulting LLC. Be sure to stick around. Your News2 Oct weather forecast is coming up next.